So I was meditating, but I guess just for fun or just like taking a course, like you go to a yoga course or a gym class, for maybe 8, 10 years or something like that. And it was with a group that had a teacher that has already passed. And that teacher left some money for a foundation, and that foundation organized a weekend for Buddhist organizations in America with the theme of collaborating between different organizations. And so it was up state New York, and whoever were students or students of that particular teacher were invited to join the weekend as well. Otherwise, from other organizations, it was pretty much the people in charge or the heads or the spiritual teachers. Um, so I went and found myself in a room full of lamas and masters, and I didn't even know the vocabulary, like of what's the appropriate title. Obviously, I still don't. And obviously, I was overwhelmed, and I was overwhelmed by all this outside appearance of like big costumes and so you know that, like, okay, you're in the presence of very important people, but I don't know any of them, and I don't have anything in common. So what am I doing here, and why am I here? Um, so yeah, felt very, very uncomfortable. I had a friend living close by who invited me before for a barbecue, that I refused to go. Immediately, I called them up. I said, "This is my lifeline. I'm coming to the barbecue. Like, this is not for me." And so I already knew, okay, I made a mistake coming, or just like, I'm really, really out of my comfort zone, really, really not in the right place for me. Yet I was there. So it was nighttime, and I was looking what to do just because I was still not tired. At the same time, I was looking to hide from any substantial conversation because I had nothing to say to anyone. And then I heard, like in one of the corridors or something, some laughter coming up. And I said, you know what? Like that made me feel a little bit more safe. So I oriented towards that. I went and I met these two guys that were speaking to another commoner like me. And they were wearing black, and they were all chatting and like having a good time, or it seemed like, enjoying each other's company. Let's just say it's not that it's having a good time, it's enjoying each other's company. And again, like there was no sense of expectation. Um, and so I chatted right along because I like to chat and I like people and I like to laugh. And so I immediately inserted myself in, and they were welcoming as well. So it was all very nice. And then I asked, like, okay, who are you guys? Like once I felt comfortable enough. And they said, oh, we are Zen monks. And, the costume, which in their case was just black, so that also felt less intimidating from all these there were some like big hoo-ha costumes, uh, and no disrespect to anyone, I just really, like a lot of respect, actually, like that's why I was overwhelmed, right? Like I'm giving it a lot of meaning. So I am trying to be respectful, I'm just really not educated that way to know to decipher. So I got it. They're wearing black. They're Zen monks. Excellent. And they were the nicest monks. And I said, oh, okay. So where are you from? And they said, we're from New York City. And we have, a center where we meet and act. And so we had a very nice chat. It was like really, really excellent. And but just about this and that, nothing in particular, nothing spiritually related. And that's it. And I went to bed. The following morning, I went to breakfast. Oh, I forgot to say that, like, the night we arrived, there was one session. This was like a workshop weekend about collaboration. So, really, like, the first session was done by an outside professional that was brought in and gave us an introduction how, in order to collaborate, first thing that you need to do is really orient towards the other people and really try and learn more about them. And so we were tasked then, as we meet each others throughout this conference, through this weekend, we need to make an effort, an intentional effort to get to know other people and talk to them. Already a very annoying instruction, but you know, I obey rules. And so I tried to, like, okay, I'm here. Let me, it's not that I obey rule, but I try to go with the flow, right? I've already situated myself here. Let me go with the flow. You're setting the rules. Let me try and follow them to, partake. And so the following morning, I go to the breakfast place and I already have a headache because I know that I'm going to try and follow these rules, but I hate these rules. So I'm already trying to find my route of escape of how I actually go and sit down, but don't talk to anyone, or talk to someone and get it over really quick or something like that. In any case, I see a table when there's almost no people there. I say, this is perfect. Let me go there. So, I ease into that. Uh, at this point, there are two versions, you know, uh, Doshin, like, basically says, he sat at the table, I came sat across from him. My version, I sat at an empty table, he came sat across from me. Doesn't matter. In any case, I found myself sitting across this guy, this bald guy. They're all bald, right? At least in Zen. So I know they shave their heads. Yeah, okay. So I sit across this guy, and I know, or my mind tells me, I need to talk to him, right? So I'm like, and he's wearing black. So I already felt like, I've got this. I know what to say. And so I'm like, are you Zen? And he says, yes. Success. I was so happy already. Okay. And then I said, are you also from New York? And he said, yes. Then I had nothing to say. And then he said, oh, no, I'm actually from Denver. And at that point, I just broke out laughing. And I couldn't stop laughing. So I couldn't stop laughing. Couldn't. Got teary eyed, blah, blah, rolled on the floor. Anyone who knows me, I have a big laugh, and it can last a while. Although this was out of the ordinary. I was rolling, rolling, rolling. Since I've been living with myself my whole life, I really got the fact that, and I included in the playlist a video of my mom. So I inherited her laughter and superseded. In any case, I couldn't stop laughing, was teary, teary, teary. I knew that I need to remove myself from the situation because this is not going anywhere well. And so slowly, slowly, I removed myself from the situation, all while laughing, could not stop laughing. And that's it. Took the card of there were like cards of all the people who were in the conference. Took the card from outside. Couldn't make eye contact with Doshin, couldn't speak to him, couldn't say a word, couldn't. Took his card and, you know, pretty much tried to avoid seeing him the rest of the weekend. Most of that weekend, as I said, went to France, went other places. And whenever I did see him passing in the hallway, just one look, I would crack up, crack up, crack up. Yeah. And well, the rest is just like, it took a few months. I emailed him a few times. He ignored my emails, ignored my emails, ignored my emails. Finally, he said, there is a retreat in February somewhere outskirts of Philadelphia. If you want, come. And I said yes. And it's all down from there. But like, no, honestly, it's all down from that first encounter. But even that first retreat, like so much laughter, and for a few retreats, couldn't make an eye contact with him at all. And that really, really caught my attention. Like I knew about myself that I like people, I like to laugh, I have a big laugh. Meaning, I don't shy away from laughing, and in a way, you can even say up to a point where I did not pay enough attention to the surrounding that I am in, but felt very free about my laughter. Always felt like it's sincere and real joyous. Although not always appropriate, I do have to admit in retrospect. In any case, yeah, just meeting a person I knew nothing about and orienting towards connecting with him and really have nothing to say and have the response be such big laughter that just comes out. That really was a surprise. Like, definitely caught my attention. Definitely caught my attention. And yeah, changed my life. I needed to figure it out. And yeah, the sad truth is there is nothing to figure out. Very frustrating to anyone who likes using their mind and, you know, thrives also on their mind. So, very frustrating journey. Not a good one. Not a good one. Okay, this is it for now. And thank you.